when we see the Old Dhaka, yeah, at the first time we say, yes, before visiting, we can see the Old Dhaka on the map and you say, wow, there is the river, and the river is the main resource. And when you are visiting the Old Dhaka, you say, wow, it's not really a river now, too bad. It's a kind of dead river. So we have to revitalize the river, and because this is the element, the matrix of the city, we have to inverse the processes, because the river is dying. We have to revitalize the river. When you say why the river is like this, you have a lot of problem, and this is the prerequisite of the ecological redevelopment of the Old Dhaka, because you have no drainage system, you have no sewage system. All the pollutant water, all the dirty water are going to the river. You have no waste management system, so all the waste, all the pollutant, all the activities are going directly to the river. Even the most horrible pollutant as the chemical pollutant, so everything is going to the river, and the river is dying.
The first impression I had is the hyper density of the city. It's really interesting in terms of the kind of a laboratory, that because you can imagine, you can experience a lot of things, you can analyze, you can share, ideas coming from Europe or other Asian countries, for instance, and because the problems are quite the same in terms of ecology, in terms of transition, in terms of architecture, in terms of living, how to make cities more livable, and I think it's one of the key points, how to make it. So if we consider the Puran Dhaka, you cannot, look at the city without looking at the river, and that here, our first glimpse to that. The first glimpse is to see the black water, and so that means that you have a sanitation problem, that you can solve it, sure, that you have to recover all the embankment that is like a kind of barrier, and there is no connection between the city and the river, and the city and the other bank. So if you consider that and enlarge the vision, you have a real scope, really interesting, that with my colleagues here coming from France, engineers, architects, and we can talk about ecology, heritage, and economy, because you cannot distinct the problem. They are all linked, And so that's why we are talking in the workshop about public space as well as heritage. But you cannot talk about heritage without considering public space. Without considering, the way you walk in the city. It's so tight texture of the city, and so that's really interesting.
in West, we have to face, last century, quite the same problem. But we make mistakes. We consider infrastructure separate from the town. And maybe here you can think in another way and to use infrastructure to build a city and to connect people all together to grow infrastructure in connection, but real connection with the city. So that's the main thing. After, it's very interesting to work and to say inside yourself that you cannot understand all what happens, but you can try to find some solution. But the solutions are not solutions. I think that the workshop is just to give idea and to see with the local people what they want to do. It's just a point of distance with the problem, because of course you can have solution, of course you can change the city, of course everything. But maybe it could be useful to have a different point of view and to use this point of view as you like.
I was not really aware about all the developments over the last couple of years on this.
But in terms of economics, the rivers have been the lifeline of the
So we thought about the idea.
Wrote this course in Bangalore in 1887 and also now could be some smaller kind of initiative that can everyone has their unique commitments and they have their
The process learning from Puran Dhaka that we start in 2022 explore many different things, organizing workshop with around 60 students in architecture, with Bouet, Paris Villette in France, Bombay, Katz in Kerala, and Korea, Volpo University. To thank all our partners, Bouet University, Asian Pacific University for their participation in this exhibition, Bangladesh Institute of Planners, Institute of Architects Bangladesh, Dhaka South City Corporation, French Embassy, the World Bank, and the French Institute in Paris, which is
Since 2011, with more than 100 institutes and 850 Alliances Françaises in the world. It's the unique operator of France's cultural mission abroad.
When we are talking about the old city or Puran Dhaka, always we are thinking of the constraint, mobility, accessibility, density. This is our main constraint. I hope within 10 years we can see a new Old Dhaka. This is my hypothesis, I hope so, or I can foresee these things, as because a lot of people are working on Old Dhaka. Everyone has a vision to improve this, revitalize the old lesson. Today we can see a lot of organizations say, yeah, everybody wants to have a good old city. We want to revive our culture. Even we can see in the wall, hundreds of students are working on old city. How they can see the heritage trail also from the Asia Pacific University. Each and every university students are working on heritage. Organizations are working on heritage. So we have some hope.
We can see the sensitivities here as well, some of the drawings and how meticulously they have picked up some of these details. We have worked with the form-based coding, as Sajid was mentioned, that the building codes for the new city should not be applicable for the old city. Old city is totally different ballgame where you need to have a very sensitive building codes and standards. We have studied that you can see layers of Portuguese and French and British and Mughals and pre-Mughal in that city. So that needs all to be brought into the discussions of building codes and regulations. You really can't talk about the setbacks and heights and distance. That's very reductive of a way of looking at the city.
Because if we are going to weave the Jamdani Shari, you need the Dil Bazar rice. It's a very traditional rice. It's based in Dhaka before, but not now. In the Puran Dhaka, we lost lots of the green lines and the blue lines. We lost already the 5 more rivers, 100 more ponds, and also the 60 more canals. We consider the Buriganga River front and the Puran Dhaka as a special district with the special rules and regulations regarding renovation, restoration, new infrastructure development.
This ambition is very important, this aspiration, this engagement by stakeholders is very important. One other area that we want to think about is that the political capital, we talk of other types of capital, but political capital is also a very important resource, requirement, if you want to carry through transformational projects. And often our aspirational sort of ideas are innocent of the need for this political capital. And then it ends up some boutique ideas or something. So I think around Puran Dhaka, and really I want to thank you for inviting me here. There is a great opportunity. And rethinking Puran Dhaka is actually rethinking Dhaka itself and rethinking urban Bangladesh. That's how we have to really think. If we think it at that level, then we can really go ahead for some transformation. Thank you.
Puran Dhaka's role in Bangladesh's story and Dhaka's story, more inclusive, more sustainable, more comprehensive, it really comes down to a lot of the solutions that the speakers tonight talked about. When you think about comprehensiveness, it's not really, as Ibrahim mentioned, you can't really take boutique approaches. They might be good for piloting or very specific problems, but we have to think big. We've been thinking, many presenters shared very big thoughts. So when you think about, and this includes not just in the investment space and specific interventions, but also in terms of policies, changing land use guidelines, changing how we view legislation around wildlife protection, zoning. These are solutions that we're talking about tonight. And these are big ideas that need to be, that are part of comprehensive solutions.
We have to think that how we can integrate the whole program. All of you are the expert in a particular field of urban revitalization.
I'm extremely pleased to be here this evening at the closure of this unique project, which now has to be translated into implementing the recommendations of the experts.
And also some of the activities, because of those.
We try to raise differences, movements, porosities. So it is fundamental to just take the time to ask